today with now 49 countries contributing to Operation Iraqi Freedom. Our direct attacks against the regime structures and units continued in the last 24 hours, and the cumulative effect we're seeing is degraded control. The first image is an Iraqi missile support facility, and this is in Baghdad. In these types of facilities, ballistic missiles are assembled, essentially. The parts are put together for use, and destroying it disrupts the missile production and reduces the threat to neighboring countries. The post-strike image shows an effective attack, and the split view. The first image is an Iraqi missile support facility, and this is in Baghdad. In these types of facilities, ballistic missiles are assembled, essentially. The parts are put together for use, and destroying it disrupts the missile production and reduces the threat to neighboring countries. The post-strike image shows an effective attack, and the split view. The second set that I'll show you today is of a television and communications facility that was used for dual purposes by the regime. On one hand, to broadcast television, on another hand, to use as a node for communicating to different parts of the regime. And our intended effect in this case was to sever the links to the outside for the regime. This is the pre-strike image. You can see there are two very large radar dishes, or satellite dishes, excuse me. And the post-strike, please. We did have an air mission that attacked some targets, not in that area, but in a different area. And during that period of time, they encountered surface-to-air missile fire. As I mentioned in the opening statement, we've seen uncontrolled surface-to-air missile fire. And what I mean by that is, normally they are controlled by radar. But there's a hazard to turning on a radar against one of our aircraft, a very certain hazard. And so the firing crews have decided not to turn on the radar and fire the missiles ballistically. They're also using very old stocks, we've discovered. And those stocks are not reliable, and missiles are going up and coming down. So we think it's entirely possible that this may have been, in fact, an Iraqi missile that either went up and came down, or, given the behaviors of the regime lately, it may have been a deliberate attack inside of town. Something else to corroborate it, and then something else to corroborate it. So a series of other efforts